When I signed that contract, my name is on the same contract as Gwen Stefani.
Oh, hello, darling. Are you hitting
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Hitting Pan by Ipsy. I'm Bethany Blair. I'm your host. We're talking about all things beauty. No topic is off limits. And today we have a really fun episode in store because not only is she Ipsy's chief merchandising officer, but she's also a total badass in beauty and business. If you have aspirations to be a C-suite beauty executive, you have to listen to this episode because you're going to leave so inspired. Everyone, let's welcome Kristy Westrup to Hitting Pan. Hi, Kristy.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm super excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you here and just kind of like chat about the industry and where it's going and maybe some fun different topics. For our audience who is interested in merchandising or just in the beauty industry, I wanted to see if you can kind of give like a little bit of an overview of what you and your team do here at Ipsy and what that entails, because there's a lot of different careers in beauty that you can go down, and I think people are interested. It might be nice for them to hear from you.
Absolutely. So it's interesting. At Ipsy, our merchandising team takes a very broad approach.
Yep.
So we are everything from a team that's out in the market, sourcing, building relationships with thousands of brands, all the way to our actual merchandising team who then takes all those amazing brands and builds these fantastic boxes and bags for Ipsy. And then that's the art, and there's a little bit of science behind it. So we have a whole planning and personalization team that's really building out the forecasts and the analytics and ensuring that all the amazing things that you want to see in your bags and your boxes get to your house.
That's really cool. I work on the marketing side, and so we work really closely with the merchandising team and hearing about like every little step that goes into it. Like you said, anything from like the fun, creative side to like you guys are hunkered down, planning, having meetings, looking at products, looking at what's coming up. I mean, you work really far ahead, right?
Yeah, I mean, the team is testing thousands and thousands of products a year.
Wow.
Like every single item that ends up in a bag or a box is tested on one of my team members. And then on the opposite side, from a planning perspective, they're forecasting and analyzing and like to the unit level. And then there's machine learning and all the algorithms. I mean, it's like, it's mind-blowing. Everything that goes into that box when you open it up, in that bag when you open it up on a monthly basis.
That's really cool. Again, I love working with your team and hearing a little bit about the why behind the products, why we've gotten something. It helps from a marketing perspective to work together to like speak to the people that we want to speak to. So you have the best team.
Thank you.
Let's take it back to your early career. What did the beginning of your career look like kind of to get you to this point? Because again, merchandising is so interesting to me. So I just want to see like how you got into it and where you started.
Oh, it's quite a funny story. So I was an athlete growing up. I played soccer. And my goal in life was to get a scholarship to college. I didn't really think about what I wanted to do after that.
Yeah.
So I had all these different internships, and I ended up as an intern at Birdine's, which is like a very old department store.
Okay.
Now Macy's.
Oh, okay.
It's now Macy's.
Okay.
And I remember walking in that store and just being so obsessed with all the fashion and the beauty counters and just really getting absorbed in all things retail.
Yeah.
And so got through college, and then I realized like I needed to be in all things fashion.
Yeah.
So it started off with fashion first, but I did get the scholarship.
Ooh, okay.
And then what was really cool is I had this I was known for these like crazy ass nails. Oh, am I allowed to say ass?
Yes. Crazy ass nails, girl. That's okay.
So I was known for these like crazy long blue nails in college, and then I just kind of brought that along with me, and then just like beauty has always been a part of everything that I've done. And so my career has just gone from I was an intern, and then I was an assistant buyer, and I grew up through all the different categories of business.
Yeah.
Like I was doing merchandising for apparel. I was part of the whole streetwear trend that happened in the early 2000s with the Sean Johns and the Rockawares and the Echoes and the Fubus and all that stuff.
Yep.
And then I ended up in beauty.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, it's just like that category of business is such an emotional like connection to your customer, and everything that we're doing in the beauty industry is just it has meaning.
Yeah, it makes sense why you guys put so much time into the curation and testing the products and making sure they fit right and that you feel good about putting them out there, because I agree, beauty is an emotional thing.
Emotion.
Yeah, and I feel like those are some of the conversations we've actually had on the podcast, is like what makes us feel good or feel connected to people through beauty.
Yes.
And it has been kind of a through line in every episode. It's really interesting that you said that. Every single person has said, to connect with someone like lipstick, or it can be something so simple, but it is an emotional thing.
It's personal, it's emotional, and you feel a certain way.
Yeah.
When you try a different lipstick or have a different eye look or your skincare, and it goes even deeper. I mean, everyone's talking about all these ingestibles and there's just like a great conversation going on. When you put on an outfit, you do feel good, but when you really do your hair and your makeup, you just like, it changes how it's just
how you feel, confidence,
how you feel. And even if you're not wearing makeup, like an amazing skincare routine, and you just feel
you're taking care of yourself. You're doing self-care, and it's bringing out the best in you. I agree. It's, again, I feel like this is such a really great tie-in to even our other episodes. Like, it makes sense while you're an executive here that you understand that, because everybody's kind of said that. And I think we need a reminder of why we love beauty so much. It's become such a huge industry. And so it's easy to get lost in the sauce sometimes. But I think coming back to like what excitement you're feeling from an Ipsy perspective, we want you to feel that when you open the box. But like, truly, it's just when you find even one singular product that you love. I love that. Makeup will never get old for me. That's why I love working at Ipsy, because I get to try new things. And
you're like, what's great about Ipsy is like you're testing and trying and seeing new things every single month. I mean, you're discovering. And it's just so different because like you can take a risk with something, you can try it, you can move on to a next trend and just stay relevant too. Like,
there you go. Exactly. Things are popping off every day. Something different. And it's funny. I love that when I come to a product that like explodes on TikTok, right? Something, and I'm like, I've been using that for 2 years. I got this in blah, blah, blah. You know, like that happens to me often, especially again, working for Ipsy. Like we talked to Patrick Starr in our first episode, and he's like, that's why I love Ipsy, because like it's another way for people to discover my products even before they might go viral. You're able to like get your hands on them. So I love what your team is doing. Kudos to them if they're listening, because I know they are, because their queen is here. You guys they're doing such great work here. You talked about even like building relationships with brands. Your team has such a big part in signing our Icon Box curators.
They do.
What does that look like? Because we, if you haven't seen our Icon Boxes, we work with a lot of really big celebrities, brand founders, makeup artists, people that are really, really big in this industry. And Kristy and her team are basically like wooing them and talking to them for years sometimes to land these partnerships. What does that look like for you guys?
So it first starts with our members. Like what I do love about what we do here is everything gets surveyed, everything we crowdsource. We ask our members like what they're interested in, who they find that would be a great curator for them. Like we're constantly ensuring that there's that connection to the curator and our members. So it starts with them first. And then the team is out there just really trying to figure out like who's culturally relevant, who's hot, who's up and coming, who's going to connect with our audience. And then ultimately they have to have a deep root in the beauty industry and really get it and understand it. And they don't have to be like glamazons. Like they just need to have some sort of connection to beauty. And remember, beauty is wellness and skincare and makeup. It's not just about makeup, but just like someone who has a deep passion for the industry and what we're doing. So far, we've done some amazing collabs, as you know.
I know. It's obviously.
Hello, Patrick.
Yeah, Patrick was so fun. It was like he was talking about going after Gwen Stefani, and you're like, Gwen Stefani is an icon. Like, if I think icon box, I think Gwen Stefani. And then she performed at Coachella. I'm like, you guys were ahead of the curve.
Like when I really think about like the height of your career, when I signed that contract, my name is on the same contract as Gwen Stefani. And like growing up in the 90s, like no doubt, like all of that, I can't believe this woman is in our studio. Working with my company, our company, and what you all did in marketing was just like ridiculous.
It was so incredible. And like I agree. I again, you guys approached it from a Give Beauty perspective, which is so great because that's what I think I like about what we do is that we're able to work with brands and might have like someone attached to their co-founder, a brand founder, or someone like that. And so it was so good, like what you guys did. You're like, these products are great. Gwen Stefani's great. And then you got her for us, and then we got to shoot with her, and she was so cool. Like
so cool.
Sometimes when they say like, don't meet your idols. This was not one of those cases. She was so lovely and genuine and real.
I was so jealous.
I know. This was one that I'm like, if we could have invited our entire company, like we would have been so fun.
Well, it's something that you said though. I think when you think about our icons, all of their products, whether it was Gwen, Patrick, Pat McGrath, I mean, amazing products. strong efficacy, like great brands. And that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
It's just like connecting those icons with this great product.
I agree.
And then your team, like our marketing team, just like absolutely building these like killer campaigns.
Thank you.
They're
so fun. They're so fun.
So fun.
It's like, we work in a lot of different capacities. We do everything from just like in the moment content to these like really planned out campaigns. But when we do our Icon Box campaigns, like we put a lot of work into it and just making it super unique. I feel like this lineup has been so incredible. Pat McGrath, like again, you're like, it's Pat McGrath. When I heard that we had landed Pat McGrath for an Icon Box, I was like, people are going to be obsessed because our products are the best. B, we're going to have some fun with this because it was like full on spaceship. Yes. Like it was so fun. It was great. So I that's why I love working with your team. And I think it's really clear what you guys are doing to put the time and effort into building these boxes. Are you inspired at this moment by any companies in particular that you're working with, like with what they're doing in the industry?
Look, they're all my babies, but e.l.f. has totally been standing out from a ratings perspective. Our members, every time we feature e.l.f., the ratings are through the roof. What I find so interesting about our members and about the brands is like right now, really high rankings on NARS Orgasm Blush. I mean, that's the OG of all things beauty. That's performing really well for us. Too Faced Better Than Sex is actually never left. Elemis, who just launched in Sephora, by the way. We worked so closely with Elemis to really amplify that brand and get that brand in the hands of millions of people. And it's really just had such a huge impact. And now seeing them in Sephora and like becoming a little bit more viral is really, really exciting.
Yeah.
And then, there's prestige beauty right now is on fire globally.
Yeah.
So like it really is a full spectrum. And then not a lot of people know this about Ipsy, but we also have an incubator program called Empowered, where we work with up and coming brands. One of my favorite are Formula Z, Zach from
Love
Formula
Zach.
Z.
Yes.
So we do a lot of work with him to build out his products, and I can tell you, like, he's still my favorite eyeliner. I love Formula Z. Eyeliner is beautiful.
Yeah, I've followed him since he was one of our brand ambassadors as well, and his products are amazing. But I love what you guys do with Empowered. Recently, there's a full-size palette that was in Glam Bag that was from Chica Beauty Cosmetics. I'm from San Antonio. Oh my gosh. And when I saw it in our marketing plan, I was so excited and so proud, and it had got such great positive reactions. So I love that we mix it up. Like, we're going to give you the prestige, but we're going to also help you discover products that you maybe hadn't tried before.
And by the way, they rate really high.
They do.
So that's what I do love about Ipsy is just that balance of these like discoverable new, we help amplify brands. The marketing team helps amplify these brands. And then we're still like getting high ratings on Better Than Sex Mascara from Too Faced.
The classics, the good, and new launches, different things that are big. Yeah. It's in the age of TikTok. Everybody's looking for the next biggest thing because they want to be the one to break it.
Yes.
And so it's fun to be able to populate some of these products and help people do that because, again, you want to be the person that finds the viral thing.
Yes.
So you want to be able to have access to that.
Absolutely.
I was also a college athlete. I played volleyball. Someone was like, oh yeah, Kristy was a D1 athlete. And I was like, A, that's sick. B, I love having a former athlete as a leader. We know that women in sports is really emerging as like a big topic. We've seen names like Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, more soccer, tennis, people like really emerging. I love Caitlin Clark, by the way. Like I love watching her and seeing a female athlete like have the spotlight on her. Exactly. As a former athlete, how do you feel about where women in sports is going and how you think it could potentially correlate with the beauty industry?
I love that we're talking about it right now because of the WNBA. I would say this has been going on for years.
Yeah.
And so I think it's fantastic. I love that we are kind of like destigmatizing the fact that women athletes can't wear makeup and dress up and be glamorous. Like this has been going on since, the days of our track superstars. I mean, because I am OG soccer player, like Brandi Chastain, like pulling her shirt off and with her sports bra on, it was like, that's okay.
Yeah.
So I've loved everything empowering about women. And then like Alex Morgan has always done up before a soccer game. And then you see this and I loved the WNBA, what they wore to the draft.
The draft. Oh my God, they were so
It was like the
fabulous.
Met Gala. I was like, I only want to watch like the carpet, like when they went walking. And I was like, you guys are slaying.
They showed up and showed out and they were like, give me those partnerships because I will slay it for you. And I do feel like we are going to see more of those partnerships for that reason. I mean, we've talked about it at Ipsy, like who can we feature? How can we help this train? I know, that's what I was going to say. It was
out there.
Kristy, by the way,
Icon Box
do you
curator.
think we should lay some ground here for a female athlete Icon Box curator?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think we are at the perfect moment to feature a badass woman athlete as an icon curator. I think it's a perfect timing. But we got to keep the conversation going.
Yeah.
I think it should just be the norm.
Yeah, it doesn't always have to be just a gigantic partnership. It could be just an everyday thing, tapping into their audience, tapping into the eyes that are on them. Like I said, I play volleyball. I have been watching volleyball religiously on TV for like 10 years, literally. And I follow some of these girls on Instagram. It is absolutely blowing up. And I hope to see volleyball also in this conversation, because I do think from this perspective, we're talking a lot about basketball. We're, because of Caitlin Clark, we're talking a lot about tennis. Venus and Serena have been around for years, rocking looks.
Beautiful hair, rocking looks.
Yep.
So I want the conversation, I think, to keep going. What better way than to have one as our icon curator?
Exactly. I think the other thing too, you mentioned the draft of seeing women show up however they feel the most confident.
Yep.
Whether that's glam, no glam, whether that's a suit, a dress, however they want to
own it.
Exactly.
Own it. Be you.
Exactly. Which we obviously really like here. We're all about embracing your unique self, your unique beauty, who you are and what makes you feel the best. I do really hope that from a beauty perspective, brands are paying attention. And I think that they are.
I think they are. I mean, you think about the inequality of pay between women athletes and male athletes, and I won't go down the rabbit hole of what Caitlin was offered for her contract, which was really upsetting.
Yeah.
It was upsetting, but then Nike came in. It would be amazing if a beauty brand came in and sponsored one of these athletes and really just set the stage for what that future could look like.
We're kind of at the early stages of this, starting to get this traction, right? Because women have been in sports for forever. And women in sports have been wearing blue nails, have been wearing sparkly eyeshadow, have been wearing no makeup, whatever it is for a long time. But now that things are being televised, which they haven't always been.
Social media.
Social media, we're getting to see all of it. That's what I'm hoping the intersection between beauty and women's sports goes, where just everybody's comfortable to do their own thing and just embrace who they are and embrace the spotlight.
Yep.
Basically what we're talking out here is who our next athlete icon box is going to be.
Manifesting.
Manifesting. Caitlin Clark, head to Ipsy.com now to sign up for your next icon box.
We got you, girl.
I love it. Yeah, I love her. I'm an athlete at heart, so I just have been eating all of this up and can't wait to see where the industry is going.
Same.
But we'll be a part of it. That's the good thing. We're going to be a part of it.
We're always in the conversation.
Yeah. The other thing about you being an athlete that has resonated with me that I do think kind of can intersect with being a female leader is how it's shaped you. Because again, we're talking about female athletes, but this has laid the groundwork, I think, for me as a person and who I've become in this industry. And I'm just curious how you feel like being an athlete has shaped who you are as a leader.
I always talk about this whenever I'm speaking to anybody, whether it's one-on-one or an engagement. I always tie it back to soccer because it's my thing. But I was a forward, so I scored the goals. But what I always talk about is I couldn't have scored the goal if the goalie didn't stop the ball, if the goalie didn't kick it to the midfield didn't do their magic and then get me the ball. So early on, it taught me that I can't be the superstar without my entire team being part of it, right?
Yeah.
It's a team effort, and we win together, we lose together. And all of that is just how I manage at my everyday life. It's making sure all of your team members are feeling good, doing well, being the hype person for them when they're up, when they're down, never giving up. I mean, we're in business, you know. You're going to have great days, you're going to have really tough days. And, you go in that locker room at halftime, you're not going to just quit. You're going to get out there and you're going to talk about what you did well, what you are not doing well, and get back on the game and win the game,
Yeah.
So for me, everything I do ties back to that kind of mentality of being an athlete. Sometimes it can be a little crazy. You've got that drive for results. It's that the competitive.
I feel that.
Whoever's watching this who knows me, they're oh, geez, yeah.
I know.
She needs to dial back the competition because life is not one big competition. But, you have to harness it. Early in my career, I probably needed to dial it back. But as you grow in your career, you realize, blend it, right? Have that competitive, that drive for results, but harness it and just really trying to get the best out of everybody is also just something that I'm really passionate about. Not every player, not every employee or every team member is going to be motivated the same way. And you, as a leader, as you grow, you start to think about what motivates Bethany, what motivates all the different people on the team. So
even the best teams lose. So like nobody just wins all the time.
Exactly.
You know, like even people who win the championships lose during the season.
Yeah,
so.
it's like just take the shot.
Yeah.
You know, it's like if you don't take the shot, you're never winning. It's kind of like what I say. I'm like, you just got to take a shot.
I totally agree. It's funny. Everything that you're saying, I'm like laughing. I'm like, yep, all those things. Yeah. There is something that it instills in you. You know, just like
we're biased.
Yeah,
we're both athletes.
I know. I'm like, it's okay. I know lots of amazing people who aren't athletes and amazing leaders, but I do think kind of having that little added bonus in has always helped me.
Yeah. For sure.
Be competitive and want to be the best and push to be the best, but also know how to work as a team and get the best results out of people. Exactly. So, and I know that you would not be able to be a C-suite executive without understanding that. So I appreciate your words of advice on how to get there. The other thing I would love, especially for women, do you have advice for women who are looking to get there in their career?
Yeah, I have been very lucky because I've been in retail for the most part, and I've been surrounded by just absolutely strong, amazing women that have helped me get to where I'm at. And men, obviously, there's been amazing mentors and men in my life as well. I always go back to just be your true, authentic self. I know it's really hard to be, but put boundaries, be your authentic self. And believe in yourself. Yeah. You know, a lot of times, like I talked about this for Women's History Month of, you know, imposter syndrome and how to overcome imposter syndrome. And it's real. Yeah. And, you know, I think as I grew within my career, there were moments where I was like, I really like I still to this day, I'm like, oh my God, I'm a C-level executive. Yeah, of course you are. Yeah. Like you worked your ass off to get here. You deserve everything that you have. And I think for me, when I look at, you know, people that are newer in their career or people close to that next step, it's like really just believe in yourself. You have to give it everything you have, right? Yeah. It's not going to be handed to you. Yep. That's a no-brainer. It's like you have to put in the hours. You have to network. The other thing I'm really believe in is networking and staying in touch with old managers, old colleagues. Like networking is key to the success of getting to that next step and staying in that, like, you know, staying there. I can't express it enough that you have to use LinkedIn. Like as much as I'm on TikTok or Instagram, like, okay, I need to shift over to LinkedIn. And who should I be reaching out on LinkedIn? How do I have a conversation? Somebody told me last year, like, there's no more of these like networking live events. And someone's like, imagine when you open up LinkedIn, that is like walking into a conference room full of people. How do you want to show up in there? How do you talk to people? Are there people you see on that feed where you're like, you know what? I'm just going to like go in there and I'm going to say, hey, Bethany, I'm Kristy from Ipsy. Love what you're doing at XYZ at Ipsy. Like, just wanted to say hi. Yeah. It's kind of like utilizing those different platforms to make sure that you are staying relevant because it's very different than when I was growing up in my career. I'm also on the board of CEW. It's the Cosmetic Executive Women's Organization. Amazing. It is hundreds and hundreds of badass women at all levels. Yeah. And like if you truly want to get into the beauty industry or you want to continue to grow your career, CEW is definitely an amazing networking opportunity. You learn and grow and network. It's definitely something worth checking out as well. Like I give that advice for anybody in the beauty industry. You know what I did? I have a Google sheet because, you know, we love a Google sheet. And I put a bunch of names down the side of like just people who have come in and out of my career in my last 25 years. Yeah. And then I put dates across the top and I'm like, emailed this person, had coffee with this person. And I keep it up. I look back at it to remind myself of like, I haven't talked to X mentor in 6 months. Let me go check in on him. And that is something that I highly recommend to executives to really just like hold yourselves accountable. That's really smart. I would love to do that. You meet so many people passing, whether it's someone comes to a shoot with someone or someone's in a meeting. Exactly. I think that's so smart to look back on and be able to. And you're always top of their mind too. Yeah. These are great learnings. This is why, again, having a C-suite person who has had the success and has done the work to climb the ladder and get to the place they want to be is so inspirational, I think, for me or anyone who eventually wants to get there in their career. But networking, I think, is a really good call out for everyone to just keep in mind. It can truly result in something for your career that you hadn't imagined. So I'm going to do everyone a solid and try to get some tea out of Kristy. What tea can you tell us for Ipsy? What are some things to look forward? A little spoiler or two? Any icon box teasers you can give us? Like, what hints can we give exclusively for our podcast listeners? What I can tell you is your skin deserves the VIP treatment, and that's where Grown Alchemist Skin Defense Primer comes in. It's like an instant shield for your face.
The formula doesn't just blur your pores and give you a gorgeous matte finish, but it also protects your skin from environmental damage using adaptogens like ashwagandha and reishi mushroom. And guess what? It's silicone-free, cruelty-free, vegan-friendly, and 94% naturally formulated, so you can feel good about what you're putting on your face. We seriously love it so much that we're giving you 25% off at grownalchemist.com with code IPSYPOD25, which expires December 31st. It's also available at Sephora Canada.
Our next icon box, curators maybe, are true legends.
With an S too.
Yeah.
Curators. Or a Z? Is that a curators with
maybe.
a Z? Okay.
Yeah.
Legendary.
Yeah, legendary.
So this next one's going to be legendary.
Yeah.
Okay.
Super
And
pumped about that.
I actually know who it is.
Exactly.
So I do know who it is. And we're going to be shooting very soon. So hang tight. I agree. I think it's going to be an incredible shoot. And if you're listening or viewing this podcast, you are getting hints that nobody else has gotten.
Exactly.
Are there any brands to look forward to coming up even in the second half of 2024? Like,
I was just in New York with the team. I mean, we are still like Rare, Glow Recipe, Drunk Elephant, Elf, Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like we're working with like all of the really super hot brands and like just innovation within their products.
Yeah.
Something that I think if we think about like the future, something that's super interesting that I think is going to become even more important is like biotech.
ooh.
And all things like science.
Yeah.
You know, like Google biotech. What is that?
What is that?
Like,
Yeah.
what is that? But like K18, like hair. Do you love K18?
I love K18.
We are all obsessed with K18. on the
Literally.
team. Yes. So everyone's talking about that right now. And like hair fragrance. Fragrance right now, like we weren't doing a lot at Ipsy with fragrance because it's such a specific.
Yeah, it's niche.
Like it's very individual and how it smells.
Down
and
to
smells on
how it
different
reacts on
skin.
your skin.
I know, like
Exactly.
I might smell you and I'm like, oh yeah, it smells great. And then I go by and it's
don't
like,
like
this
it.
does not smell at all.
Yep.
Because like the oils and how it interacts. But we are doing a lot of discovery and sampling with fragrance right now. And all those post reviews and ratings that we're getting for fragrance through the roof.
That's what I was going to say. I feel like people love fragrance. They're telling us they love it. They're like, no, I want more.
Yes.
Please give me more fragrance.
Yeah. So all things fragrance is really, I'm excited to see what's coming.
Yeah.
And then the OG skincare and makeup are still like super, super important. And people are, skinification of makeup and, that intersection of like still dewy skin. Like I'm on the hunt for dewy skin.
I'm on
give
that
me
train.
dewy skin. And I'm your girl.
It's been really fun to see the beauty industry explode with fragrance, but same thing. K18, truly obsessed. Like it changed my hair. Truly, I still use it once a week, and actually, I scooped up 3 bottles when we had it in our box. I literally was like, I am hoarding all of this, and I'm never gonna let it go.
Yep.
But that's another fun product that I discovered here that exploded on the internet.
Yep.
And it's a really fun
and
thing.
we had it in the box, and you discovered it, and you go back and purchase it on their website
And
or
it was sold out for a while too. And I was like, I literally have 3 bottles
Yes.
that I bought
Yep.
here. So I tried not to spoil too much with work because I like to see them because I still like to
Yeah, you
experience
get
my
excited.
build
I
your
get
box.
excited
Like,
too.
I'm like, I don't want to know exactly. I want to know what, like hints about what's coming, but it's also really
it's so
exciting.
funny. I know everything that's coming,
Yeah.
right? And we work together to build campaigns around it. And on that choice day, I get so excited to go onto the site and see what Ipsy has curated for me. I'm like, I already know this, but I get so pumped about it.
I have the same way. I literally have 3 different quizzes on all 3 of my subscriptions so I can have a different experience.
I love that.
And I get
Love
3
that.
different boxes.
Yes.
And if I really want something, I'll overlap them. But like I have 3 memberships and my husband loves that, as you can imagine. The amount of
Products that are in the bathroom.
He's like, do you need 3? And I'm like, it's for work.
Yeah, this is market research.
Yes, I have to do this. That's amazing. Okay, so state of the industry right now, beauty industry. How do you feel like other companies are responding to where we're at? We just talked about 3 kind of big trends even that are just happening alone. Where do you see the industry going? What are you excited about that's coming up that you've seen so far?
Yeah, beyond all the brands and the products that I just talked about, I think what's really going to be interesting is watching Gen Alpha. That generation is going to make a bigger impact than like millennials. Remember when it was like all about the millennials,
And then Gen Z
and
popped
then
off.
Gen, and like this generation, I think is super interesting. That cohort is going to be very, very, very valuable and important as these beauty brands move into the future.
And I think as beauty brands, that's probably where we're going to end up is going, okay, like, how do we want to speak to them and how are we going to do this? What are we going to educate them on? Yeah. Because even though it seemed wild at first seeing a 9-year-old or a 10-year-old unbox something or going to Sephora and buying something, for me, I remember being 10 years old and stealing my mom's makeup.
Yeah.
You know, like I think we just didn't see it back then.
Yes.
So I think that's been the adjustment
is
is seeing it on social and seeing it in a different way.
Yeah.
Products are a little more expensive now too. I think when I was 10 years old, you know, it was a different price range, but I think that's been maybe some of the shock. So I think it'll be really interesting to see how the industry handles this.
I love that you said that. I think about when I was growing up was Noxzema. I was using Noxzema when I was like 10 years old. Like, why was I using
burning the shit out of my face with those Noxzema pads.
Except it wasn't on social media. It wasn't on TikTok.
If not, you would see a very red-faced 10-year-old who was like, this hurts.
Yeah, so like this has been going on. It's just they're just a little bit more educated and they're super educated because like at their fingertips is all
exactly. That it's natural progression. I think like to me, I think it's like the beauty industry is so much bigger than just selling makeup now.
Agreed.
It's about the industry as a whole and what picture it's painting to a potential customer or just someone in their community.
And I think that too, I think the brands that are doing it well are the ones that are truly connecting with their customer, speaking to their customer and being authentic about how they're speaking to their customer. And like we talk a lot, as you know, at Ipsy about like being that emotional connection. And it's just like moving away from it. It's not a transaction. It's an emotional connection. And the brands that are doing that well are the brands that are thriving. It's not just about putting something on a shelf or a grid or on their site and people are just going to purchase it. Like there has to be a reason because the market is very flooded. That's what I would say about the beauty industry. I mean, it is a flooded industry, and to be able to stand out is going to take a lot of outside the box thinking.
And you see all the brands. So
all of them.
That's a really great perspective from a merchandising perspective. You're seeing. You talked about empowered. You guys are seeing everyone from just people who are just starting out all the way to the OGs who have been around for a long time. So it's probably really easy to spot what's standing out to you right now versus what's not. But I think the outlook of, speaking to your people and figuring out how you speak to them and what you want to say is a really big thing that's going to be pushing the industry forward. It's coming back full circle. I think. Because it did get really, where at the beginning it was all about that. You know, when beauty was emerging, influencers were exploding. Brands were using social media. There's a lot of eyes and figuring out what works on the algorithm and all this stuff. And I think now brands are coming back around and influencers are coming back around to say, we never know what's going to change in social media. So being able to just find your niche and do your thing. But I agree. I think there's so many brands out there doing it right that are fun.
Crushing it.
Yeah, crushing it and fun to watch and fun for us to work with as well. So I love that. Okay, so you gave us a little hint on Icon Box. I feel like that was a good one. I won't push you any more on that. Unless you have any other tea that you want to share.
No
okay, she's like,
you have to sign up.
The lips are zipped.
Check our social channel.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so you have all the analytics behind the scene. Can you give us an insight of right now maybe what is our number one rated product? Like in reviews that we're getting, is there a brand or a product that you can tell us? I always am really interested to hear this of what people are reacting to.
Yeah, for sure. So we just last year, as you know, because we did that amazing forum in New York, we launched our Ipsies, which is our own homegrown awards where we award brands and products and creators our Ipsy award.
So cute.
So cute.
Yes.
And so while we launched that, we come through like 20 million different reviews and ratings to determine who was going to win those awards.
I think I've heard a stat about how we have more reviews than Yelp.
More ratings and
more ratings and more
Yelp,
ratings than Yelp,
which is crazy.
Yeah, that is wild. Crazy. So when you say 20 million, that is not an exaggeration.
No,
okay,
no, thank you. Yeah, our members are so engaged and they're rating all these products. And funny enough, like I said it, NARS Orgasm, Too Faced Better Than Sex, LMS, Pat McGrath, Glow Recipe, Yenza. Yenza's like a quiet storm. Like their products are gorgeous. You know, all these different brands are still rating super, super high, and our members love mascaras. They love moisturizers. All of the standard staples are definitely still rating super high for us, which I love to see. I love to see when you think about those brands and you think about the life cycle of a brand, when you see those same products that continue to rate high, it means efficacy.
Yep.
It means
real deal.
Real deal.
Yeah.
Right? So
it's like people love to try new things, but they're still always going to have staples.
Yes.
I'm really excited that you said that too, because the Ipsies is very soon, in like a week,
June.
basically. Yeah, exactly. I guess the real answer to that question is you will find out what some of our top rated products are, because we are going to award them. We have a really fun, exciting reveal coming soon on who those will be. So if you are interested in seeing kind of like what the people love, we're giving Ipsies away in New York stay tuned. It'll be on our social. I can't wait to see
I can't wait.
I actually literally didn't know who won last year.
Yes.
And so I felt
Getting
like
all
I was
excited.
at the Oscars.
Yeah.
Like I was like, and they're like, and the winner is, and I'm like, who is it? I'm like looking around.
Well, what was so amazing is you had some like killer brands in the room.
Yeah.
And when they heard that our Ipsters, like our members, have rated and reviewed their products, they were so excited about it because it's not like an ambassador or a panel. It's truly the customers that rated these products that won these Ipsys, which is just like such a unique. So I'm super excited. I don't know yet. Who's won.
And this year we did social voting too.
Yes.
So it was a little bit like a combination of both, and we got some real time votes, and it was really exciting to see like people, get to make that choice. Make sure you guys tune in and see who wins very soon. You'll get to see all the wonderful winners with as many products as you test and try. I'm really wanting to know what 3 of your staples are. Like these are like, yes, I'm assuming you're discovering tons of products as well, but what are your like some 3 core products that just hit home for you?
The products that I actually go out and buy.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You can imagine.
Exactly.
Like,
you're getting, there's
stuff.
a truckloads coming through your house, I'm sure.
I have a 12-year-old daughter. She loves that.
Oh, yes.
Tatcha Dewy Skin.
Oh,
I'm obsessed. Right?
I am with you. I will always come back to that product.
Always. I try so hard to move on, and I always go back to that product.
Mm-hmm.
It is just gorgeous.
It's and the packaging,
the smell,
it's so beautiful.
the dewy.
I need to buy another jar right now.
Yes. I bought a bunch in our add-ons.
Yes, I do.
We had add-ons. Yeah, the samples. I bring them whenever I travel. I'm like, I need another Tatcha Dewy Skin add-on.
I am out. So this is a great reminder.
And then I like use just a little because I don't want it to go away. So that is definitely OG.
Okay.
I'm really obsessed with Tower 28 mascara.
It's so good.
So good.
Okay, I'm with you on
so good, right?
Both of these so far. Yeah.
And then Clarins lip oil.
I've never tried that, but that is like a cult fave, isn't it? Like I feel like that was like a blow up on TikTok product as well.
So good. Love. We'll go back and purchase it.
When you're talking to someone who probably tries tons and tons and tons of products like for this long, how long have you been at Ipsy too?
It's going to be 5 years. And
5 years. Okay, so think of the amount of products that she has tried during that time.
I mean, our stat is we have like 8,000 products a year. Wow.
So if those 3 are standing out, you do the math. Those are 3. So if you're looking for something to add to your list, I'm going to do the Clarins one, but those 2, the other 2, I am behind you 1,000%. Okay, so we end every episode with Undupable.
Okay.
And I know you gave us 3 of your like OG fave products, but this is like in this moment right now, things that are so exciting to you, irreplaceable. Doesn't all have to be beauty, right? Okay. But if it's like a massage or lymphatic massage or just it can be like in the vein, but it also can be something personal if you have something that's just amazing for you right now. So think of things that are just irreplaceable in your life, but you have to do it in 30 seconds and you have to give a little explanation before you move on to the next one. Okay. So it's harder than it sounds is what I'm going to tell you. Okay. Shayla, let's start the timer.
Okay. I do not leave home without my Supergoop sunscreen, my water bottle. I really need a massage. Like I'm a massage girl. What else? And my kids, they're the love of my life. I can't leave.
I see them always out there in that soccer field and you're like rooting for it's so cute.
Yeah.
Soccer mom.
Beauty and soccer and my kids.
I love it. Those are good. I feel like all of that is beauty adjacent too, because water, you got to stay hydrated for that skin to be glowy.
Majorly important.
I think those are good items. And again, your 2 kids are really the most undupable thing ever. But I love it. I love you cheering them on. And like I said, seeing you be a soccer mom, go from a player, which we talked about, to a soccer mom. They're the cutest. Okay. This is so hard for me to do 5. I have to do them every episode and
that's crazy.
I lose track. I'm like, I don't know what I already said and what I didn't.
I know.
Start the timer, Shay. Okay, number 1 is this pink mug because it's been keeping me hydrated during this entire time. And number 2 is fake eyelashes. Fake eyelashes are bringing me to life. So love fake eyelashes. Number 3 is fake tanner because I am not in the sun like you. And so I've been having to fake tan. Give it up for spray tanners out there. My little sister, because she lives close to me now and I love her and she's so cute. My 5th would have been my Warby Parkers because we were talking about how glasses just take it next level. So we both wear glasses. Today we're just in the glam moment. Kristy, again, thank you so much for being here. This was so much fun. You're so fabulous. Thank you for sharing all your insights. And I'm not just saying that because you're one of my bosses. Truly fabulous. Make sure y'all tune in every Thursday for new episodes of Hitting Pan. Also follow us at Ipsy everywhere so you don't miss any beauty news that comes out. Until next time, stay glam. Bye.
Bye.
Are you hitting pan?